Xbox is bringing us even more games for console and Xbox Game Pass, and even announced a huge showcase that is arriving this summer. There has also been massive rumors for the potential upcoming release of Titanfall 3, alongside some more teases for the Asus handheld coming from Xbox. There is so much news to cover today, and that is only scratching the surface of what we can expect from Team Green. My name is Fletcher, and this is Xbox Nation. If you're new here or just returning, make sure to subscribe down below, as I cover everything from Xbox news, reviews and updates every single day. Now, with that out of the way, let's dive right into the news and updates coming your way. First up, and as a great bit of news coming out for this Thursday, we're seeing an extra game come to Xbox Game Pass Day 1, as well as a major update for a new title coming very soon. So first up, you may remember The Alters. It's that awesome looking sci-fi game which promises to blend unique elements across the survival, adventure and base building genres, whilst put in the shoes of a sole survivor of an ill-fated space expedition. I have been eagerly anticipating this game myself for quite a few months now, and I've always been incredibly intrigued about this cloning mechanics and also the twists and turns that the devs have really rumoured. This game kept being pushed back by many delays, as the devs wanted to ensure they had a polished finished product, but we finally have a release date. It is coming as a day 1 release to Xbox Game Pass for both console and PC on the 13th of June. The largest announcement for Xbox Game Pass though has to be that Rematch, the new IP coming from the Sifu developers, is coming day and date to Xbox Game Pass this June as well. Rematch lets you control one player on your team, and then lets you compete in fast-paced 5 vs 5 matches from an immersive third-person perspective. The gameplay here though is designed for non-stop competitive play, so there are no fouls, offsides or VAR. Honestly, this one gives me massive galactic football vibes, which I cannot wait for, and a big shout out to you, especially if you remember the anime from back in the day. This does look incredible though, and Sifu was such an incredible martial arts game and really gave us a unique take on this genre. I will have a preview of the game up very soon alongside a review, so make sure you're subscribed down below so you don't miss out on this future video and so many more. Now, Fragpunk was originally supposed to release for Xbox back in March, but it ended up getting delayed indefinitely, and in that time it's gone on to be a popular release over on Steam, although admittedly its fanbase has steadily dropped off since its launch. Fragpunk will be with us on Xbox before the end of the month, and in addition to crossplay and cross-progression support, console players will be getting free in-game gifts to make up for this delay. If you are unaware of this game though, it's essentially a 5 vs 5 shooter which uses a unique mechanic called shard cards. These cards can be used at any point during the match, and they alter everything from the environment to your own players or enemies as well. It's a very unique take on this franchise, but I know many still compare it to the likes of CSGO and also Valorant. It has mostly positive reviews since its PC launch though. I will give it a try when it comes to Xbox, and I will let you know my thoughts, but I did find it okay in my short alpha window in which I tried the game originally over on Xbox. Are you gonna dive back into Fragpunk, or has it lost that spark entirely due to the delay? You'll have to let me know in the comments below. Now, I have personally seen quite a lot of comments over the channel over the past few months, and that's specifically regarding one area to do with Xbox Game Pass. There are a lot of Activision Blizzard games that still haven't arrived on Xbox Game Pass as of yet, particularly when it comes to the Call of Duty series. But finally, we might be getting 3 more titles in the near future. This is according to the Microsoft Store on PC, which is added included with Game Pass banners to both Call of Duty World at War, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, and also Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. I will chuck up the example of the World at War Game Pass banner on screen now, and a big shout out to Jamie over on our Discord server for bringing this to my attention. As you can see, this is a very prominent banner, and I really suspect we might see these soon, or a large wave announcement at the aforementioned Xbox Game Showcase in June. Of course though, it isn't really too uncommon for Microsoft and Xbox to make mistakes with stuff like this, so don't be surprised if the banners get swiftly removed today and nothing actually happens for quite a while regarding these titles. That said though, they will be arriving at some point, and we all know Microsoft has been doing work in the background to prepare all the Call of Duty games for Xbox Game Pass. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 really does seem likely, especially as we have 3 and 4 on the way. Alongside that, Crash Bandicoot 4 especially looks like it's going to be on the service, as we've had so many leaks and rumours from industry insiders and leakers at this point. It's surely not a question of if at this point, essentially it's just when these games arrive, and I cannot wait for them to come to Xbox Game Pass. Obviously, the biggest highlight for this week's news is that Xbox have announced the upcoming Xbox Game Showcase, which is coming to us on the 8th of June this year. This will then be followed by a special direct, which will be dedicated to the upcoming Outer Worlds 2, which, to be honest, I'm just so hyped for. Here are all the dates and start times for the Xbox Game Showcase, and make sure you tune into the channel as I will be covering this live with reactions and so much more. Do make sure you're subscribed down below so you don't miss out and join me for this awesome event. Interestingly though, the Xbox team did announce that this year will be digital only, meaning there'll be no kind of physical event for the showcase that appears to be in the works. I know some creators and Xbox fans aren't too happy about this, but Xbox did make us aware they are planning a future event for Xbox Fan Fest later this year. In terms of the Outer Worlds 2, we know very little about this game so far, aside from the fact that it's dated for 2025. The fact this is getting a special segment at the Xbox Game Showcase means that it could be coming sooner rather than later. I reckon we could see a release date for the Outer Worlds 2 as early as September, as we did for Starfield back in 2023. If you remember rightly, Starfield was shown off in the same way back in 2023 and then arrived in September of that same year. Funnily enough though, at the time of this announcement, IGN did put up an exclusive look at 11 minutes of the Outer Worlds 2 gameplay, and honestly, it looks fantastic. I have chucked a small snippet on screen as you can see now, and you'll have to let me know your thoughts on this in the comments below. The combat definitely looks massively improved from the Outer Worlds 1, and I didn't expect any less as the combat in Obsidian's other game Avowed was great and really did hit that mark. Time will only tell if this is another masterpiece on Xbox's banner, but I don't really expect any less these days from Obsidian Entertainment. You can stop me if you've heard of this next one before. Just a couple of years after Respawn insisted that nothing new was in the works in regards to the Titanfall series, a rumor has been circling around like wildfire that Titanfall 3 is apparently in development. This actually originated a few days ago with two people on social media, Yurotsuki and Osvaldator, and the latter has since shared more details suggesting it's an Unreal Engine 5 project and it's almost complete. The thing is, Osvaldator is a very prominent leaker in the Apex space and was correct on the past couple of seasons of Apex Legends and seems to have connections with people at Respawn or at least EA. However, Giant Bomb's Jeff Grubb has chimed in on this rumor to say that the rumors of Titanfall 3 are not real. He stated the following on screen now: "This isn't real. I'm sorry, it's just not real. There is a Skunksworks team headed up by Titanfall 1 director Steve Fukuda. He's got a small team over there that is probably messing around with like games that have Titans in them. Does he have a prototype that has Titans in it? I would certainly assume that it's a safe thing to think. Now, is that going to get announced in 2025 and released in 2026? No way. Do you think we could have a new Titanfall game in 2026, or do you think that these rumors are just a ripple in the wind? You'll have to let me know down below." With Asus seemingly teasing an Xbox handheld last week, there's been a lot of talk about the device in the days ever since, and Xbox boss Phil Spencer has also teased something to do with handhelds happening in 2025. In an interview with iJustine, Xbox boss Phil Spencer has said that his team have talked and teased about the potential release of an Xbox handheld, but stopped short of confirming anything specific.
We've teased and talked about handhelds, and I'm very excited because we both travel some, and sometimes you can't always take your console or my whole gaming desktop with me.
Elaborating on the wider strategy, Spencer insisted Xbox is about the person rather than the device these days.
But it is really around building the experience around the person, and that's the part that gets me most excited, is putting this not a single device at the center. It's not one game, it is the player.
Of course, the Asus Xbox handheld isn't expected to run all Xbox consoles natively, but it will support a large number of games rather than running them Xbox Cloud Gaming style, whilst the Xbox Play Anywhere will provide free PC versions for over 1100 Xbox games. With the Nintendo Switch 2 out in the wild, there's a good reason for Asus to act quickly, to capitalize on the controversy surrounding that device and to ensure that potential Switch 2 buyers know there's another option for them as well. As soon as I hear anything more concrete about the Asus Xbox handheld, I will let you know as soon as possible. What do you think of the Xbox news and rumors for this week? I always love hearing your thoughts and also having Xbox discussions in the comment section below. Make sure you also smash the like button if you want to see more videos covering Xbox updates, and subscribe for more Xbox content every single day. Whilst here though, why don't you check out the video on screen now? I covered the 20 best Xbox Game Pass games you can play in April 2025, and I'm sure there's some on this list you may have never have experienced before.